All right. I got a Mike here. I got a Chuck here. And I got a Bruce. Place your bets. Who do you think is going to come and interrupt the show first? What do y'all think? Look at the boys. They walked away. They walked away because they... Oh my God, they're scratching stuff up. You know what? You know what? It's fine. You know what? While they're doing that crap, I'm starving. And so I'm going to grab some stuff. Y'all thought I was going to grab actual food? Hell no. I got these. Okay, don't get me wrong. You probably should never get snacks from like a discount food place or a discount place. I got these at Burlington Coat Factory, and they're not even the chocolate ones, they're the vanilla ones. They're pretty good. I don't know if they're safe to eat because, like I said, since they're from a discount place, like, are they expired? Are they fine? Who knows? Does say taste bud warning, but it says it's because they're scrumptious. So if I croak here on camera, maybe that'll help me get to 100 subscribers. That said, welcome back, everybody. We are actually at 35 subscribers. Welcome back. Thank you. Again, help me get to 100 subs because I promised you we won't eat 12 tacos in a sitting. Isn't that right, Mike? That is my co-host, Miss Mike. She knows what it is. You know what it is. We are back here for another Ratchet retelling. Now, Yvonne, what are we going to talk about today? Funny you ask, Yvonne. What energy is this? What is happening right now? The energy is I don't give up today. Like today, I opened my like, y'all use Nebula? That's like, oh shit. Look at me. Y'all use Nebula? That is the, like, it's like a horoscope app. I don't pay for it because the hell you mean I'm gonna pay for that? No. So I use the free one, and I have my birth chart in there, and then it gives me my horoscope for the day. Tell me why my horoscope today says that I am distressed. Mentally, emotionally, physically. I'm just a fucking mess today. But you know what? High five. Here at Yvonne Ventura's channel, we roll with the punches. Y'all need to get to know me at my best, my worst, and my average. These things are so good. I hate the sound of chewing. So if y'all can hear me chewing, I'm really sorry. But I'd much rather you hear me chewing for a little bit right now than hear my panza, my stomach, grumbling throughout the video. I promise I'll eat something after this. I don't live in squalor or like, I mean, I joke around that I have like the diet of a raccoon and I live off of trash, but in all seriousness, your girl does eat food for real. So, yeah. What the hell are we talking about today? What are you talking about today? Oh, that's right. We're doing a Ratchet retelling. So, if you recall, last video I gave y'all two options, but I was kidding. I wasn't really giving you two options. I was giving you a option, and then I gave you a preview of what I was gonna talk about next. I talked about Bruce. Thank you. I talked about two books. One of them being Mexican Gothic that I have already listened to this year, and I thought it was whack sauce. But maybe if I give it another chance, maybe it's better because I know what to expect now. So who knows? Maybe it's better. But today, we're going to go straight to the depths of hell. We're going to be blasphemers today. We're going to talk about a book called Priest by Sierra Simone. But before we get into that, let me give y'all... Bruce is coming. Okay, he just walked by. Well, let me give y'all a couple disclaimers. Disclaimer number 1. This is a retelling. This is not a review. Meaning, I am going to be telling you to the best of my abilities, which is not very good, beat for beat, what happens in this book. So, take this as your spoiler alert. Spoilers up the wazoo. That is what we're... Spoilers, okay? Just spoilers. If you don't like that, proceed with caution. Like I said, I'm not the very best person to tell things in order. That sentence didn't make any freaking sense. But, so I'm not very good at telling things in chronological order. So, and I may leave plot points completely out because that's just how I roll. So, the entire book won't be spoiled for you. And if you're like me and you want to know, is there a stupid ex-girlfriend? Do they break up at the end? Does the dog die? Do they get broken apart in some other way? Does somebody die? If you want to know those things, I'm the girl for you. I'm going through it for you. Number 2, those. This is a Ratchet retelling. By Ratchet, I mean she's disorganized. She don't got it together. She has notes, but the notes don't make any damn sense. And then, since the last video, I'm going to add disclaimer number 3, número 3. Brow, brow, brow. These books are nasty. These books are dirty. These books are grimy. These books are smutty. Okay? We're going to be talking about things that suburban housewives love to read about. Me, I'm a suburban housewife. The things that we like to read about that excite us, that we don't want done to us personally, we just like to read about it. I say that with my whole chest. I will listen to the hell out of some good girl and some smacking around. Of course, consensual. But I don't want that done to me. That sounds like it hurts. I don't like that. Okay. Disclaimers aside, again, I am your host, Yvonne Ventura. This is my co-host, Miss Mitch. We are here to give you a jolly good time. Feel free to like, subscribe, share if you like my vibes, if you want to continue to vibe with me. Let's do this. Yes? What the hell is happening with me today? Oh my god, I should absolutely take a screenshot of like my horoscope on Nebula. Let me scoot over, okay? Like my horoscope on Nebula was absolutely dog shit today. And truth be told, even if I hadn't read it, like my energy is just real off today. So all right. Without further ado, let's talk about Priest. It is exactly what you think it is. It is about a priest who does unpriestly things. And what sold me was the synopsis on Hoopla. I read it. I started giggling. And I said, you know what? This is the book for me. So I checked it out. Side note, if I figure out how to screen record, would y'all be interested in like checking out books with me on Hoopla, like reading synopses and decide and watching me decide in real time what books are worth listening to and or reading and what books aren't? If y'all want to see that, you know what? I think I want to see that. If I can figure it out, I will make that a video. Okay. So Priest, there's no monsters. Like I promised y'all. Hi, Chuck. Like I promised y'all, I went back to human beings. Doesn't mean I went back to sane or normal human beings. Um, this book revolves around a young man. He is young because he's around my age. He is 29-year-old Tyler Bell, and he is a priest in a tiny town in Missouri. In Missouri. He is a priest because his older sister took her own life at the age of 19 after being a victim of a priest when she was younger. So she was groomed and she was essayed by a priest when she was younger, and she internalized that trauma and unfortunately ended her life at the age of 19, and Tyler found her. And the author writes that this is what made Tyler want to give his life to God and try to like reform the church, and like he has like a bigger mission in his life. He wants to kind of eradicate the predators in the church, because of what happened to his sister. So other than that, Tyler is, again, I said he's 29. This fool likes to run. He runs a lot. Just always running. Just running. He likes to run. He likes to watch The Walking Dead. Um, this book was written in like 2014, 2015, so that's about right for the times. So he's watching The Walking Dead, and he likes to go on to Reddit and pick fights with people online. Not very priestly. But you know what? He does mention that prior to giving himself over to the faith, the Catholic faith, he was dipping and doing it all over the place. He was he was a menace to society. He is a cute boy toy, so of course he was getting it in wherever he could. He was getting it in wherever he could. Okay, so that's Tyler. So Tyler is now reformed. He is a priest, or in Spanish, as we say, un padrecito. He is sitting in the confessional booth because he's at his like confession hours, and he's just kind of drifting off, like looking into space, and he's like, "What is my life?" Daydreaming, as most devoted priests would. Is it devout? Not devoted? Most devout priest. Yes, the word is devout. He's just chilling. Twiddling his thumbs. Listening to his church people, members. What do they call those? I'm a really bad Catholic, you guys. Like, I'm culturally Catholic, so I should know the terms, but like, I'm really bad at it. Fill in the blanks. His people. He should be listening to his people do confession, but he's just kind of going through the motions. And then, right as confession hours are about to end, somebody sits in the booth, and she has a deep, smoky, sultry voice, much like mine. Hey, I gotta give myself compliments wherever I can. I know I don't have a smoky, sexy, sultry voice. I know I have a deep voice. Like, let's resurface some trauma. The last time I was in Mexico, which was a year ago, one of my 11-year-old little nieces, well, not nieces, she's a cousin, she's a relative. She literally, I was just minding my damn business. I was just talking. Just talking. This little girl goes, "Why is your voice so deep?" You know how, like, okay, whatever. We can unpack that later, okay? We can unpack that later. We're not talking about me today. So, a girl with a beautifully deep voice, husky voice, smoky, sultry, sits in the booth, and she's like, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." Okay, this book is like maybe a couple notches below a porn. So take that as you will, all right? This is clearly written for sexually starved suburban housewives. But so he's like, whoa. He starts to have some nasty thoughts. Yes, I know, Chuck. It's not gross. So he starts to have some nasty thoughts about her. He doesn't even know what the girl looks like. He's just like, damn, that voice. And then he's like, elaborate. And then she says she's done some bad things and asks, she pretty much implies that she's been committing a bunch of carnal sins. Now, you don't tell that to a horn dog priest that, is clearly sexually starved, because now he's just thinking about what might she look like, what our mouth do. So this interaction is very brief. She says that she feels guilt over something that she did, but she can't bring herself to say what she did. And she leaves. He catches a glimpse of her. She's pale with dark hair. Doesn't really see her, but catches a glimpse of her. Then all he can think about is what she might look like. And then you know what dudes do when they think about things that they really like and they can't please themselves with that person, so they do what they can for themselves. Tyler does that to the voice. Okay. So let's talk about who was on the other side of that confessional booth. Her name is Poppy Danforth? Poppy. Miss Poppy. Miss Poppyola. She is an old money bitch. She comes from money. Her family paid for her to go to a lot of school, and she was going to have a thriving career. And on her graduation day, she heard Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For? And has an existential crisis and decides to run away because none of it was what she wants. And for some reason, she turns to stripping. So she turns to stripping, not just any type of stripping, high end, very high end, like an underground club for rich people. So she's a high paid, classy stripper. And she is a freak. She is freak nasty. Okay? So that's Poppy. So Miss Poppy goes back to confession a week later. And she's like, I haven't done this before. How often do I have to confess? And Tyler, the priest, is like, you only have to confess once a year. But she's like, no. Because Poppy is also attracted to the voice on the other side of the wall. So Poppy starts telling him, yeah, I'm a stripper. And I also really, I'm a really sexual person. And I get really excited at the fact, at seeing the men that I take my clothes off for get excited too. And I don't feel guilty about it. I love it. I love being dirty. And so poor Tyler over here, he's like shaking. He's like, oh my God. Keep in mind, this man's feral for this girl. So he does a confession, and he comes out he comes out of the confessional booth at the same time she does, and he sees her for the first time. She's smoking hot. Of course she's hot. She's old money. She can afford to be hot. Not like the rest of us who just try our best day to day and just hope it works. So Poppy's hot. And he's like, oh man. And she looks at him and she also goes, ahooga. I'm assuming Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think this book ever talks about what Father Tyler Bell looks like. So I had to insert one of my own male crushes in there. So in my mind, because she goes, "Oh God," um, I'm picturing Nicholas Galitzine. You know, if you haven't seen The Idea of You with him and Anne Hathaway, go ahead and do so. You'll thank me later. If you're into these kinds of books, you'll like that movie. So, Nicholas Galitzine is playing the role of his life right now, playing a sexually starved priest. So, okay, I had to picture what man would be in front of me in the confessional booth that would make me lose it. So that's who we have. And so now we're at a crossroads. Well, Tyler's at a crossroads. He's like, whoa, I don't think I can listen to these girls' sins no more because her sins are getting me really hot and bothered, and I can't help her because she's too hot. And so he is trying to like muster up the courage to tell her, like, hey, I know you need spiritual guidance and help, but like, bitch, not here. I'm not thinking with my mind when I look at you. But he doesn't do it. When he's about to, like, he's mentally thinking about it. He's on a jog. Guess who he runs into on the jog? Sexy ass Poppy, glistening with sweat, being pale and beautiful with thick dark hair, and again, reeking of old money, being unrealistically gorgeous. Because, you know, like, this is the bitch that makes us all feel like Shrek. Dude, she's not even real, and I'm like salty about it. Like, I'm like, could be so effortlessly beautiful, Poppy. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like whatever. So then she's like, do you not like me? Like, are you mad at me? Because you act funny. And he responds, no, not that I dislike you. I mean, I really like you. So, I'm trying to be a priest, bitch. So then I'm again, okay, I was kind of listening to this at work. So, do they go to a restaurant? I think they go to a restaurant and he's like looking at some shit. Maybe these are two separate. Yeah, you know what? They're two separate instances. Okay, he runs into her jogging, then that happens, and then he goes to like a cafe, and then he's like looking at his like budget spreadsheets in on his laptop while also on the Reddit forum for The Walking Dead and like talking shit to like some random users on the other side of the world. Um, and so then she's like at the diner, cafe, restaurant, dive, drive-in, diners, drive-ins, and dives. The place, the eatery. They're at the eatery. And she's like, that's when she goes, hey, bitch, you don't like me or what? And he goes, he responds what he responds. And then she's looking at him and she goes, what you got there? And he says, oh, I got some spreadsheets that I'm trying to figure the budget out. And apparently she's some weird Excel savant. So she figures out his budget for him, and then she starts getting more into the church. She starts hanging out with they describe her as looking over 100 years old, but she's a church hand that works very closely with Tyler, named Millie. I know she's supposed to be under 100 years old, over 100 years old or whatever, but in my mind, she's played by Reba. Because she's got like mom or like judgmental aunt energy. So we got Reba in the house. So Reba and Poppy, they become really good friends. They're talking about the word of God. Poppy's over here helping serve pancakes on Sundays. She's deep in the church, but now every time Tyler looks at her, he's like, oh shit. And he continues to address his urges by himself. And there's some tension between him and Poppy. You could feel it. You could feel it. After they discuss spreadsheets and shit, she comes back to confession. Now, y'all, if y'all are really devout, like religious people, I would say maybe skip this one. I'll catch y'all in the next video. We get pretty blasphemous in here. All right. So she goes to confession, and she starts discussing what sin she's trying to repent. So she talks about that at the strip club, her old first love named Sterling, I don't remember his freaking last name, Sterling. He's some old money stupid head. Anyway, Sterling pulls up and he comes to visit Poppy, and she's like, "What are you doing here? You're married." And he's like, I don't give a crap that I'm married. You are mine, and you're gonna be my mistress. You couldn't be my wife because even though you were old money, you were still a hoe." literally. Okay, this is slightly paraphrased. This is just very slightly paraphrased. He literally tells her, "You look on the outside. You look like old money. You fit the aesthetic of what I should be married to, but you're a slut." It's literally what he says. And I'm like, what in the world? So he says that to her. And then, because she enjoys being degraded, she proceeds to smash this married man who called her a slut, and she loved every minute of it, in the strip club. Which, strip clubs are kind of like, are dirty. Like, you really want to get down in there? For real? Like, for real? Anyway, they get down in there. And that's what she's trying to repent about. The fact that he's a married man, she shouldn't have, but she liked it. And she feels no guilt. And now Tyler is like distressed because he's like, oh hell no. Oh hell no. She's telling me about sexy times. And I'm over here like over trying to shaking and not trying to do anything. Because I'm a priest. I'm trying to be a priest, bitch. And so then they come out the confessional booth at the same time. They look at each other. Game on, bitch. Oh, hold on. Game on. So, you know how I'm eating these? You know, just me eating. He does this to her while she's standing. Because this freak, yo, she's in a freaking dress with no calzones. Do you hear me? No calzones. Calzones is Spanish for underwear, disclaimer. But this bitch ain't wearing calzones. Where the hell are your calzones? And then that's when he's like, oh, you dirty bitch. You're not wearing calzones. Did you want this to happen? And she's like, yes. In the church. In the church, y'all. They're in the freaking church. One more time, they're in the church. So because they're in the church, he also does other things. They both find the finish line together, but because it's not your traditional way of smashing, he is like, you know what? I haven't broken my vow of chastity. Or celibacy. I think it's celibacy because to be chaste means like you've never done it, right? Okay, so he broke his vow of like he's like, I didn't break it. I didn't break it. He's clinging to technicalities right now, friends. Clinging to them. And so then he's like freaking out and he's like, this can't happen again. This cannot happen again. And he doesn't see Poppy for a couple days. But then they have another conversation. He's like, I can't stay away from you. And he finds Poppy later standing in the y'all again, shitty Catholic over here. Is the sanctuary that tiny little booth inside the church that has like the body of Christ and all that shit in it? Like that people have access to sometimes? Anyway, whatever the sanctuary is, he finds Poppy in there praying, and he thinks it's the hottest thing ever because they're having like it's spiritual, and they have like a spiritual moment together, and they make out, like they hella make out, and then he's like, you know what? One more time. Let's just do this one more time. So things progress, and eating aside, he breaks his vow of celibacy. Wait for it. On the altar. Do you hear me? On the altar. They smash. And do you know what he uses to clean her with? The freaking you know the little rag that they use to wipe off when they're given the blood of Christ and shit? He uses that holy piece of fabric. You guys, this is a dirty ass dude. Like you could like break your vow. Like if you're gonna like break your vows and you're still a lover of the church or whatever, like why inside the church? This is wild to me. Anyway, don't stop there. They keep smashing everywhere. They're smashing on the floor. They're smashing in his little apartment. They're smashing in her apartment. They are doing things. There's a very graphic scene where he gets backdoor access to her inside of the church, and he uses the same oil he uses for like baptisms of kids to ease his access to the back door. You guys, like, I was joking that I needed holy water in the last book, but like, no, for real, I feel like I needed to like pray a few Hail Marys after this. Like this is some intense smashing. Okay? And I thought I was into smut. Like this, there came a few points where I was like, what the, you guys, like for real, there's boundaries. All right, back to the story. Smashing aside, Sterling shows up. Sterling pulls up into church, and he's like, bitch, I know you've been smashing Poppy. Who's Sterling? Hold on. Who's Sterling? We need somebody old money and pretty. Old money, pretty. You know what? Let's do it. You know what? It's gonna be my other boo. We're gonna make him Austin Butler. Austin, I'm so sorry I'm using you for this role. You are worth so much more. I'll find somewhere else to cast you. It's okay. Okay? All right. So we got Austin Butler in the house. Welcome to the house. So Sterling pulls up and he's like, bitch, I know you've been smashing Poppy. I freaking know. And so Tyler's like, bitch, square up. What are you talking about? So Sterling shows him photographs of his romps with Poppy. Tyler's romps with Poppy. Not to be confused with Sterling's romps with Poppy. And Tyler is like, oh my God. And Sterling says, if you walk away and I get to be with Poppy. These pictures don't have to make it to the Archbishop. Which the Archbishop, so I guess it's the Archbishop is like the boss, and then there's the priests. Then they all report to the one Archbishop in the region. Okay. It's like, so the Archbishop ain't gotta find out. And so Tyler's like, so why is Poppy yours if you're a married man? And Sterling is like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then Tyler responds with, well, I think you're a fucking chump. So get out my church. And so that conversation ends. And so then Tyler tells Poppy about it, and he's like, what the hell? Like, Sterling just came and threatened me. And Poppy's like, yeah, I talked to him. Don't worry about it. Like, I told him that he's not shit, and I'm not gonna be with him, and he's married, and he can choke on a dick. And he said, okay, fine, I'll go choke on it. And that's it. And Tyler's like, why are you trusting him? And Poppy responds, I'm not trusting him. I'm just, don't worry about him. Just don't worry about him. Don't stress. Don't worry about him. Which, Poppy. Tyler's stressed. So then, Poppy, to try to make amends with Tyler, she takes him to her strip club. Hi, Bruce. Welcome. And they proceed to roleplay as patron and dancer together. Welcome. Welcome, Bruce. Happy you could make it. This is Bruce, everybody. Say hi. Oh, it's a little blink for the camera, Bruce. Hey, don't. You get a kiss. You get one kiss. 2 kisses. Are we done? No more kisses. I'm going to put you down, baby. Okay, 3 kisses. Say bye. Say bye. Don't be that obsessed with me that you don't want to look at the camera. Say bye, Butch. Bye. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. What was I saying? Takes her to the strip club, and they role play as dancer and patron. And he makes it rain on her, and they smash in the strip club. Which, again, not the cleanest place to smash. But they do it anyway. So they smash in the club, and she's like, I'm doing this to replace the memory of Sterling. I just want you, Daddy. Which I'm assuming it's for love, because this dude don't have no money. Like, he's a priest. He don't have money. He just has God. That's all he's got. So they smash in there, and then they say their I love yous. And they have lots of moments where it's like they want to be public, they want to love each other publicly, but she also doesn't want to be the reason why he leaves the church and leaves his position. And he's like, don't worry about that, boo. Like, let's not, he's still trying to have his cake and eat it too, which is so stupid on his behalf. But anyway, he's also trying to find a way to break things off with Poppy, but he can't because he's so emotionally invested. He comes home late one night from Poppy's place, and you know who's waiting for him? Old ass Millie, chilling under a lamp. And she's like, where the fuck you been? And he knows he's been busted, so he's like, oh my God, don't say anything. And Millie just says, I don't care, just don't get caught. Baby, get down. Thank you. He's like, it's fine, just don't get caught. The last priest got out of here in scandals because he did something to a child. So, yours isn't anywhere near as bad, but it's still bad, so don't. And so he's like, okay, Millie knows, Millie's cool. He also goes down to he goes down to his best friend, his best priest friend, because he wants to confess what he's been doing. And as soon as he walks into that church, that priest is like, ooh. And Tyler's freaking out. And he's like, what? And the other priest is like, ooh, you broke your vow. Because I guess that priest could immediately see it in his eyes that he was more like a man, and that he was in deep with wrong verbiage. I mean, he's been in deep. He's been in quite deep. But I mean, figuratively, he's in deep with Poppy. So he's in there. And I guess that priest can tell. And he's like, I'm not going to tell the bishop, but you need to break this off, my dude. You need to break this off because you married God. Like, you cannot, unless you want to leave this priestly life behind you, you need to break things off because you can't have them both. And so he's freaking out. And then Poppy also vanishes for a minute. Like, he goes to visit her because now he's got a key to her house and the bitch ain't there. And he knows immediately because Jesus... Rose? Okay. So he knows immediately, like his gut. Jesus talks to him, and he knows right here in his gut, that she's with Sterling. He knows the bitch is with Sterling, and he's freaking out. He's getting, which did Catholic priests can drink? I didn't know Padrecitos could drink like that. This dude drinks like a fish. He drinks himself silly. And she comes back to him. She comes back to him the following day. In the previous day's clothing. You know what this bitch tells him? She says, yeah, I was with Sterling, but like, we were just talking things over. And ultimately, I told him I don't want to be with him. And again, remember, like I told him last time, I told him again. I told him he can choke on a dick. So you don't have to worry about him. And Tyler just accepts this because he loves Poppy so much. Which I'm like, Tyler, for real. And she's like, no, I would never cheat on you. I think I'm telling this story out of order, but whatever. She's like, you know what? No, I would never cheat on you. It's not in my nature. Like, I don't cheat. And Tyler, burro. It is un burro. You are a donkey. So stupid. So, after this declaration of love, he quits the church. He leaves a voicemail to the bishop and he's like, I'm out. Because he has an epiphany that he's meant to be with Poppy. And so he's poor because he's a priest. So he picks some flowers from the garden and he leaves the church and he walks on down to Poppy's house and he knocks on the door. He's like, come on, let's go down that yellow brick road. That's the song from Flyleaf. I don't know the rest of the words from there, but the song is called Blue Roses. Because he's holding blue rose in my mind. He's holding, something blue roses. He's got blue roses. He's knocking. The door is open. Bitch, the door is open. It's open, bitch. He goes in. Ain't nobody in the living room. Ain't nobody in the hallway. But bitch. Somebody in the bedroom. Not one. 2 people in the bedroom. That's 4. 2 people in the bedroom. Guess who's in the freaking bedroom? Bitch, guess who's in the bedroom? Poppy. And Sterling, bitch. Sterling. Stupid ass Sterling. Sorry, Austin Butler, you're not stupid, but Sterling is in there. And you know what they're doing? Do you know what they're doing? They're kissing. I am so triggered by cheating / implied cheating in books. So triggered. Which actually, I could have finished listening to this book yesterday, but I got to the part where he got to the house and he just knew something was amiss, and I just freaking knew that something stupid like this was gonna happen. So I paused it and I said, you know what, bitch, I choose peace. And I went on to do other things, and I couldn't go on. So I had to ask my friend, who was also on this journey with me, if she could tell me if there was cheating, like if what I was about to listen to, so that if I knew that I could power through, because I was honestly triggered. Like, I actually really like Tyler's character, even though he's nasty. He's freak nasty, but he's my freak. My freak. Okay, but then she reassured me that things rectify themselves, and I was able to power through and finish this book. So let's power through and finish this book. So we see with our own eyes Poppy locking lips with the man she told him not to worry about. And now, him with the roses in his hands, he runs away. Much like Orpheus when Rhea was dead. He's like, in the book it says he doesn't remember how he got home, because that's what I'm imagining. That's how I'm imagining he was running, just like throwing the roses somewhere. Can't even see. He hits a pole because he's crying so hard. Too much? Not enough. Maybe just right. So he's devastated. And he goes to see his priest friend. And he's like, this bitch, she betrayed me. And, that priest friend is like, I think your only penance is going to be just live for God, from here on out. I think that the pain that you're feeling, that Poppy has inflicted on you, is enough for your journey to forgiveness, Which, cool ass priest, nice of him. At that moment, though, he gets a call from the bishop. And he answers the phone, and the bishop is like, Tyler Bell. Dude, your pictures are online. You and the stripper bitch. They're online. They're everywhere. And not only that, but you've gone viral as the hot priest. Hashtag hot priest. Hashtag daddy priest. Hashtag I'm in too deep. Hashtag be deep with me. He's viral. Viral. And so the bishop is like, yeah, it's good you resigned, because it's going to look better for us optics-wise that you chose to resign versus us firing you. So, yeah, perfect timing. Goodbye. So now, Tyler ain't got no job. He don't got no bitch. He don't got no money. Tyler, a mess. So what does any down on his luck 29-year-old do when they lose everything? He goes back to his parents' house, and he goes on a retreat to Africa too. And I believe they said 7 months go by, so he's back from Africa, and he's done some spiritual healing, and he has decided that even though he's not a priest anymore, he still wants to practice the faith, and he still wants to like forgive, and he wants to forgive Poppy because, Sterling is rich and he's promising her, even though she's just going to be a mistress, he's still promising like to take care of her and all that shit. But so he forgives her choice. So to do that, he goes and visits Sterling at Sterling's corporate office job, because remember, this fool has money, so he's got a fancy job. And so they he meets with Sterling, and Sterling is like, "You here to gloat? That what you here for?" And Tyler's like, "To gloat? What are you talking about?" And he's like, "The bitch told me no." And he's like, "What?" And then he goes, "Yeah. After I kissed her, she shoved me and told me to go choke on a dick. And she said she chose you." And then Tyler's like, "I thought she chose you." And he's like, "Oh, didn't choose you either? Well, sorry. Don't know what to tell you. But she didn't choose me. And if she didn't choose you, then whatever, we both lost. That's fine." So now Tyler doesn't know what the heck. So now he's searching for Poppy. Where does he find Poppy? Where do you think he finds Poppy? In a church. Because aside from all the smashing, she did like start to believe. So she did start to believe. And so he sees her praying, and he approaches her in the church, and they have a heart to heart, and she says that she ran away because even though she rejected Sterling, she knew she didn't want to be the reason why he walked away from his career as a priest, and she didn't want him to resent her for that decision, and yada yada, and so blah blah blah. And so he was like, "Well, I'm not a priest anymore anyway. I want to be with you. Let's get married." And she's like, "Yes, let's get married." And what is it with these two freaks and needing to smash inside of churches, like inside of a holy place? I'm pretty sure that makes you an offender of some kind. Like, sir, this is God's house. What are you doing? So they get freak nasty, and they make up. And in the epilogue, we've made it to the end, folks. In the epilogue, they are getting ready to be married. She's in a wedding dress. He's in his tux. And these horn dogs, dude, like they can't even wait till like get to the altar before they start to smash. Like they're going at it like rabbits in there. And then the book ends with them about to walk down the aisle together. The end. You guys, I might need a book that has no smashing for like a minute. All this blaspheming. Roostifer! Oh my god, Rose. Why? Why are you like this? Okay, y'all. That was Priest by Sierra Simone. Sierra Simone, you are a freak. What in the world? I loved every minute of it. In all seriousness, not my favorite book, not the worst book. It was very short. It was an 8-hour listen, which if you are a 1.5 to 2 times speed girl like me, I finished it in record time. So that is that. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you made it this far, please comment that priest was freak nasty with a fire emoji. Freak nasty. Fire emoji. I want to see the fire emoji. I will see y'all next time. Again, like, subscribe, share. 100 subs, 12 tacos. I promise you, one sitting. Let me know if there's any other book that you want me to read or listen to for you so that you don't have to. Happy to do so. The weirder, the better. Right. Peace and love, y'all. Deuces. Hey, y'all. So, you know how we heard that loud ass bang at the end of the video? This guy fell behind the TV in my bedroom. And so you can imagine the chaos that ensued trying to get this guy out from behind the TV. Thankfully, all is well. That is your Bruce update for you. Okay, now for real. Deuces.